Hey y'all, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another video segment with iDMC, Darius Charles.
Monique Charles.
Guys, we are the founders of Unity Ministries and we want to thank you guys for watching. If this is your first time watching in, go ahead and subscribe. Click the subscribe bell.
Subscribe button.
Subscribe button with the notification.
Hit the bell for notifications.
Right, do it now. Do it now. Stop the video, do it now. Share it, like as well. But as you go throughout the video, please leave your comments on something that you give us some feedback, basically.
Yeah.
So guys, again, my name is Darius. We're gonna talk to you guys today about a very I think it's a pretty common topic in marriage.
It is definitely.
Y'all probably.
I think in general it's a common topic, but for sure in marriages.
Right. It's entitled Unspoken Words,
Right.
and just some things that we want to kind of share our insights on. Won't be here very long, but we want to talk to you guys about that.
Right.
So, babe, unspoken words, like just the topic alone, what does that mean to you?
That's, to me, that's pretty much you're not communicating. And I know we probably covered communication in the past, but I feel like unspoken words, that's you bottling up your feelings, not speaking on the issue right then and there, holding grudges, so on and so forth.
Right. Yeah, holding it in. Maybe because you feel as if what you're going to say is going to hurt the person. But hey, check this out. And this is not quite in my notes just yet, but what you're holding inside of you ultimately hurts you.
Right.
You always heard this: if you can't say nothing good, don't say nothing at all.
Right.
And I think in marriages, that's not the case. Even if it's not good, be honest, be upfront. Like, babe, I feel this way. When you said that, I felt that way. Things of that nature. Now, I think the way that you approach it is everything, right?
Right. And with that, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Don't go just like speaking negativity over your spouse, right? Don't, just because you're upset at them, don't be like, hey, ugly, or, no, I can't stand you, I hate you. Don't speak that negativity or whatever, When we say if you don't have anything good to say, don't say it at all, it's more of, well, basically what I just said, don't do that.
Yeah, and I like what you said.
Speak your piece.
I like what you said, babe, because obviously you got to have some wisdom and discernment there. You can't just go out and just share like all your negative, like, oh my God, my wife looks horrible today, which is not the case ever. But I just say I was to say something like that. But at the same time, if I have something that she's done that hurt me and I don't say it,
right.
I think ultimately that hurts us as a unit.
Yeah, it does.
So I wrote something down. Maybe you remember this: sticks and stones may break my bones, but words would never hurt me. We used to say that all the time to kind of build our own confidence up. Like some of you guys may have been bullied or maybe been talked about in school and things like that. So you probably said the concept, well, sticks and stones may break my bones, but they even have a rhythm to it, which is kind of funny.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
Right. And I think, honestly, it's true, but words hurt, but also so does unspoken words within a relationship.
Yeah.
And I just kind of touched on that a little bit. And my wife, she's very honest and blunt. Very honest and blunt. She can say things at times. Well, not like I told you about the video prior, that Monique has a very pure heart. But at the same time, she don't channel in her wisdom and discernment in that level and be like, okay, this is going to sound this way if I say that. But I do believe that if she doesn't say it, the unspoken words can bottle up. And
it's going to hurt me if I don't let it out.
Right.
And I want to defend myself. I am honest, and I think for a long time, I think I'm honest with pretty much everyone I come into contact with, because for a long time I would not say anything at all. I was really shy. I let people run over me, and it really became really unhealthy to where I would feel less than. And so you know, I found that whenever I would, you know, speak my truth and, you know, just say how I felt, it would be like a moment for me, you know. It was just a sense of, you know, release. And, you know, granted, like whenever I, you know, speak my truth to that person, you know, I do apologize if I see that it did hurt them or make them feel some type of way. You know, like it happened recently with a coworker of mine. But I was like, hey, I'm sorry for what I said. You know, I just really want to see the best in you. You know, it wasn't coming from a bad place. It was coming from a good place. It just came off rough. You know, because I guess I speak rough sometimes.
Right. And you said something about you bottled in so much to a point where you start feeling less and less and less of yourself. We talked about, actually I want to say that was Thursday with Maisha on Unity TV, where she talked about the concept of anxiety, depression, and things like that. You know, the actual terminology of depression is that we depress our feelings down.
Yeah, exactly.
So the more that you keep those words in and you don't let them out, you feel less about yourself. Now that's very dangerous in a relationship because you want to be full and you want to be whole for your mate, but you cannot keep things in, expecting to stay full. You can put on a mask, but eventually I take it off, right?
Right.
When Monique wear makeup from time to time, when it's time to go to sleep, she go ahead and take that makeup off, right? So that's the concept that we gotta look at. We cannot be in relationships or in marriages faking and falsifying throughout life. We have to be able to be honest and be real, and by letting those words out. So, babe, go ahead with your points.
I have a saying or quote. Okay, sometimes the words we leave unspoken are the most important ones that should have been said, and it's by anonymous. I don't know who quoted that, but I think to me I felt like that, you know, that spoke to me because you know, what if like the next day God forbid, you know, my husband passed away, you know, or your spouse passes away, and you didn't say everything that you could have said to them, you know, you didn't get this off your chest, then you're left, you know, holding that holding that rock, you know, in your chest, and like you never got to say that to them. You know, that's why it's so important to, you know, to speak, to say how you feel, you know, all the time, you know, regardless of how it may come out, you know, just speak.
Right. No, that's big time. And besides you getting a big life insurance check, that's the only positivity that's going to come out of that. But for the most part, I do believe, I like what you just, that quote, because a lot of time when you think about the unspoken words, immediately, naturally, human nature is going to say, you know what are the negative things that I'm holding on that I need to say? But there's also the positive things. And I struggle with always letting out the positive things. Like, I may see something in my wife, like I always tell her she's beautiful, but she may do something at times, and I'm like, okay, that's what's up. She did it, but I don't verbalize that. I really appreciate her cleaning. I really appreciate her helping around the office. I really appreciate her doing this and that. And I posted a couple of days ago, that in marriages, do not withhold positive compliments. Say what you want to say, what you mean. I think it's John Mayer. Say what you need to say. A great song, by the way. Say what you need to say. But but anyhow,
so like if you like you said, you know, if your spouse did something that we're like, okay, the other day, so you know, I like to have our yard kept, if you will. I personally myself, I like mowing the grass. I like having a nice manicured lawn. My husband, he could care less.
Right.
And so I asked him the other day, I said, hey, if you don't mind, if your day isn't full, could you mow the grass? In my head, I'm like, he probably won't do it because he don't like doing it, and like I'm gonna have to just do it in the morning whenever I get off or whatever. But he ended up doing it. I honestly was so happy.
Yeah.
Like it was like a feeling of like overjoy in me. Like thank you, Jesus. Oh, that grass. I don't have to do it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But you know, I'll let him know. And like the whole week or whatever, he was just doing things, you know, for me to kind of lighten up my load, you know, around, and just doing things just, you know, from the loving of his heart or whatever.
Yeah,
but I showed appreciation to that. But
yeah.
I think I always do that though.
Yeah.
But you know, I let him know I appreciate this, I appreciate that, this and that, blah blah blah. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and yeah, I'm trying. I'm working and things like that. I sent her this
video.
I'm gonna see if I can squeeze it in here so y'all can listen to it a little bit.
Squeeze it in.
Yeah, I liked it. It was funny. I thought it was cute. I thought it was. So I think everybody else will as well.
Okay.
But I want to share something with them real quick. Dr. Les Perry. I don't know if you remember when we went to Spark, when he talked about something called sharing withholds.
Yeah.
I think that's something that can really, really benefit the people today. So Les Perry, Dr. Les Perry, him and his wife, which is actually funny, they have the same exact name. Both of their name are Leslie, but he go by Les. So Les and Leslie Perry, they wrote a book. I think it's called "Winning the Good Fight" or "How to Fight the Man," or something like that. But he talked about how to share withholds, and I'm gonna break it down. I may paraphrase it a little bit, but basically he said every day at the end of the day, you and your spouse get together and y'all do 3 withholds: 1 negative, 1 positive, 1 negative. So you open with a negative, you come in the middle with the positive, and then you end it with a negative.
No, baby, you don't want to end on a negative negative note.
Got
It's you start with the positive.
Got it. Okay.
And hey, you look really good today. Like and then you negative. You know, I didn't really care for what you said to me earlier, and you end on a positive note.
Gotcha.
Thank you so much for doing those dishes.
That makes sense. Now, what we have to do as the person receiving it, thank you for telling me that. On the positive, on the negative, thank you for telling me that. And on the positive, you say the same thing.
Thank you for telling me that.
Right, and the key is you cannot respond or react rather to the negative within 30 minutes.
Right.
Right. So if I told Monique, like I said, she did a phenomenal job as far as explaining it, but I just say we kind of reenact one. I say, well, babe, honestly, you are really, really, like that head wrap, you are really, really beautiful today with that.
Thank you
for telling me that.
Thank you for telling me that.
And I'm gonna be honest with you.
And you can probably just say thank you too, honestly.
Yeah, whichever your personality. Yeah. But then I said, you know what? Well, last night I know I may have said something to you. I don't know what I said to you last night, but apparently you started acting like really childish, I believe. And I don't know. I didn't like that. It was very disturbing and things like that. So maybe you probably want to work on that.
Thank you for telling me that.
And as far as what you've been doing lately within our business, you know, I've been telling you I really appreciate it. Keep doing it. I think it's going to pay off 100-fold. So
Thank you for telling me that.
Awesome. So that is sharing with hosts. Try to do that. That's one way you can get those little unspoken words out slowly but surely. But remember, 30 minutes, you cannot respond or react to what the negative was.
So in 30 minutes, I'm going to address this.
Right. So that's something that kind of... And Dr. Les Perry, y'all Google him. He's pretty famous. He writes a lot of books on marriage. He does a lot of stuff about marriage. He's a public speaker. He's an author. He does a lot of stuff. And actually, he's very entertaining. I really enjoy him as an author as well. But I really enjoyed him at the marriage conference that we went to in Houston. Anything else you have, babe?
Let me see. Well, I put down unhealthy consuming. Consuming.
Okay.
Like when you and so the funny thing I thought about was you consuming a lot of unhealthy food, and where does that get you? That gets you to obesity, probably like high blood pressure with all the, like your diabetes. It gets you in an unhealthy state, okay, and closer to death, if you will, okay. Not to get that drastic, but you get my point. And I take that as almost the same thing for me as holding in your words. You know, you consuming all of these feelings, all these thoughts, and not, you know, dispersing of them. Yeah. You know, you're holding in too much negativity, and you think about it like, okay, whenever you, like, if you eat too much like junk food or whatever within a day, at the end of the day, it's gonna end up just like taking over you, and then you might end up like getting sick and throwing it all up. You know, that's the same thing as you consuming all of these feelings, all of these negative words or feelings or whatever, and then like there's gonna be at some point where you're just gonna just like explode and just be like, you know, I can't stand you, just fussing, and then you just caught your spouse off guard, like, whoa, where did all this come from? You know, that's why it's important to, you know, whenever you have that particular feeling at the time, let it out right then and there, so you don't explode on your spouse like months from now and he just caught off guard. You know, so.
That's funny. That's actually in my notes. So unspoken words lead to explosion. Unspoken words lead to explosion. And I believe it also helps with one of the fruits of the Spirit. One of the fruits of the Spirit is self-control. So the more you actually get out what you actually mean to say, you can avoid those explosions happening because, wow, that's awesome. The enemy wants you to keep it in. The enemy wants you to keep that bottled in, so you don't develop the spirit of the fruit of self-control. All right, because if he knows that, okay, the more you keep stuff in, the more you hide yourself in the closet, the more you just kind of like depress yourself more and more and more. That leads to depression, which will lead to medication, which will lead to suicidal thoughts and all this stuff. So it's very, very key, vital to you, for you to actually say what you mean to say, like John Mayer. But I want to cover two more things, and then if you have some more things, I'll let you take it on. So it is healthy to speak your mind. However, you must remember to renew your mind. It's healthy to speak your mind, but you must remember to renew your mind. Very, very critical.
What do you mean by that?
All right, so I speak my mind about, well, baby, that was very, very childish. What you done, that's me speaking my mind.
Right.
Renewing my mind is looking at it from a different perspective as well. Like, why was she upset? Trying to understand, listen to understand rather than just to listen to hear. Stuff like that. So getting myself into getting myself to a deeper maturity state where I'm able to renew the way I look at things. Right. So the scripture, Romans 12:2, I'm going to pull it up. I should have had it already. Be conformed to this world any longer with its superficial values and customs, but be transformed and progressively change as you mature spiritually by renewing of your mind, focusing on godly values and ethical attitudes, so that you may prove for yourself what the will of God is, that which is good and acceptable and perfect in His plan and purpose for you. Right? Know a lot of y'all were like, man, that's very long, because we so used to do not conform to the ways of the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That's the scripture, Romans 12:2. But like I said, it's healthy to speak your mind. However, you must renew your mind. And I say that do not conform because the world is trained to shut down. Okay, you got a couple of feisty women that'll speak their mind and do all this stuff with their fingers and stuff. But for the most part, the world is trained to bottle stuff in.
Right.
Again, go back to my original quote. If you don't have nothing good to say, don't say it at all. We're trained this as a kid.
Yeah, where did that come from anyway?
I don't know. You need to find the originator, right? It would be funny.
Or sticks and stones may break your bones, but words, no.
Yeah.
Words do hurt.
maybe
sticks and stones hurt too.
Right, you see a picture of it on Google or something. But so do not shut down. That's what I mean by conforming. Do not be like the world and shut down. Speak it out. And then the Bible talks about how the tongue is a small member, but it can actually control a lot of things. So say what you want to say. Watch how you say it, but also be able to renew your mind in the process by speaking your mind. Thank y'all so much. I'm Darius Charles.
I'm Monique.
And we love you guys. Goodbye.
Bye.
Well, don't ask me what I'm about to do. I'm gonna mow the grass for you. Oh, don't ask me what I'm about to do. Oh, I'm gonna mow the grass for you. Oh, don't ask me what I'm about to do. I'm about to mow the grass for you. 'Cause I love you. I love you. I love